Previously on the Mister.
Alessia! Don't go! I love you so much!
Really? I love you too!
What?
Maxim's awakened by Alessia screaming in her sleep. He wakes her up and comforts her, enjoying her weight against him. Yes, he also wishes he could take all her fear and pain away, but he also could get used to her weight on him. Teehee. Later, Alessia also wakes up, marveling once again on how she can hardly believe that someone as amazing as Maxim could love her and that he has only given her hope. These thoughts of affirmation are like air to the characters. Maxim, again, he wakes up too. They exchange some dialogue and he's all, "You good or are you good?" Wink, wink. Yeah, okay, yeah, we know where this goes. Moving on. They get ready to return to London. Maxim's anxious at what's in store for him, but he prefers that to having the cops here attempting to interview Alessia. So it seems like he's gonna keep her head down and isolated until they get that eventual marriage certificate signed. Once he tells her about said marriage, down the line. Whenever that may be. Next week, perhaps. He sees that she changes into the clothes that he bought her and knows it's gonna be a good day today. On the drive back, Alessia has control of the tunes and she jams 2 more Rachmaninoff and then some Rolling Stones. Dream blunt rotation right there. Oh my god. He also discusses his animosity toward his mom. He never forgave her for leaving his father and breaking his heart. James loves her leading men with mommy issues, so there's nothing new here. She also really loves the Madonna whore dichotomy, and that is never not annoying as shit, but that is a discussion for the final series analysis video. Maxim pulls up to a gas station and Alessia hops out and attaches herself to his hip like she did the last time they did this, which understandably was so very long ago. They go inside to pay and oh my god, honestly, was paying at the pump not a thing in 2019 England? I know I asked this before, but I really need to know whether boomer Brits believe pumps would eat their credit cards or something. Nevertheless, Alessia blurts out, right there at the register queue, that smuggling herself out of Albania was her mom's idea, and Maxim's like, "She wants to talk about this now? Here? Inconvenient." Which, fair, but... He tells her to hold on a moment, turns to give the attendant his card, notices said attendant ogle Alessia and thinks to himself, "Man, she is so out of your league." Then the attendant asks Maxim for his PIN while checking out Alessia, who pays the guy no mind. Then Maxim ushers Alessia back into the car where he drives away from the pumps and parks somewhere facing the trees. He prompts her to continue talking if she wants. What the Even if she wasn't about to trauma dump, running that shit back is the funniest, most baffling thing. Why would James write this sequence of sentences in this order? Why have Alessia randomly start her random trauma dump right then and there at the queue and then have that sequence of sentences happen? Like, why have Maxim hit her pause button, go through the motions of entering his PIN, notice the attendant ogle said pause girlfriend and have the mind to go, "She's out of your league, random stranger, LOL," all the while Alessia dissociates until Maxim unpauses her. The utter disrespect from this fool. I truly doubt that James is cognizant of how she portrays her doofus. Alessia, completely oblivious that she just got styled on, opens up about her abusive fiance. He never liked the attention she got from playing piano and tried to break her fingers for it. So one day, her mom put her onto a small bus that later transferred to the 2 traffickers from earlier. Alessia befriended a 17-year-old girl, and they made plans to work together in England. They were on that truck for 3 to 4 days with only a water bottle for each of them and a communal waste bucket. When the truck rolled onto a ferry, the girls had to wear bags over their heads to, I guess, prevent authorities from detecting hidden people. The one time she overheard one of the guys say in English how the girls were going to earn their money on their backs, that's when Alessia knew what was going on. There were stories of girls who went missing back home, but she held on to hope. Her mother acted in good faith for her, so Alessia had to take a chance. She told the other girls, and when the opportunity struck, all of them scattered, and she never heard from them again. She wandered around for days until she found Magda's house. That is Alessia's story. This serious moment where Alessia finally reveals the hardships that she had endured to flee her abusive life is undermined because we experience all of it through Maxim's perspective. Before she said that fiance hurt her, what the did he do to her? Once he found out, the piece of shit hurt her. He tells us he's tempted to pull her onto his lap, but settles for holding her hand. When Alessia says her friend's 17, I gasped, shocked, so young. When he assures that he wants to know more, why do I want to know? Because I love her. She's the sum of all of her experiences, including this. When he finds out about the trafficker's plan for the girls, my fury is swift. I wish I'd killed the when I had the chance and dumped his body. I've never felt this inadequate as I do in this moment. Like, shut the up! This is her moment. The focus should be on her, with her. Every time Alessia lets herself be vulnerable, it is always through Maxim's lens, and he must commentate on how he feels about every newly revealed tidbit. I don't give a shit about the ding-dong's opinion on this. On anything, really, but especially this. Go retreat to your own stupid little dorky cave and write your own little love never dies, since you're so prone to commentate your feelings on things not about you. To reiterate my point, this section should have been in Alessia's point of view. Okay, hi, hello, editing room addendum, because a possibility has crossed my mind that I feel warrants verbalizing. Having this moment from Maxim's point of view may be to elicit the fantasy of a living and attentive man who tunes the hell into his lady's troubles and cares about it. The fantasy of a guy listening to you and loving you regardless. Maxim had hit Alessia's pause button so he could change the situation to one where he could give his undivided attention because she deserves nothing less. Frankly, that is a bleak fantasy in a the bar is truly in hell sort of way. But it also doesn't really change my already stated point. Alessia isn't Anastasia Steele. Unlike Anna, Alessia is intended to have degrees of dimensionality on par with Maxim. James wants to create an equal partnership dynamic, yet she fails to do so. I feel if you, the writer, want us, the reader, to empathize with the struggles of a character, it would be preferable to keep the focus close on them. Otherwise, that character's moment isn't about them. Alessia's confession isn't about her. It's about Maxim affirming his love for her to himself, which therein demeans Alessia as a character compared to Maxim. It's like the fridging trope, but it's in service to the man's love instead of his pain. Again, that sounds bleak. One could argue that the signs were already on the wall that this uneven dynamic had already been in place. I may have even mentioned them at some point. But this instance right here is the most egregious example thus far, and I don't like it. Okay, moving on. Thank you. Bye. Maxim hits the road again and asks for her fiance's name, but like Voldemort, she never speaks it. Alessia puts on the RYX song that they had previously danced to, and they sit in comfortable silence. Until she reveals he who shall not be named to be Anatoly Thachi. He's a wealthy gangster, and Maxim hopes his bank accounts are bigger than that guy's, because that's the threatening part about him, apparently. Now, the conversation ends and they sit back into comfortable silence. They arrive back at the London flat. There's dialogue exchanges between Oliver and one of Maxim's neighbors because, again, this book is 50% superfluous fluff. He gives Alessia a spare key, says welcome home, and they afterwards, Maxim's phone rings and he knows it to be Caroline. He tells Alessia he's going to meet with her and then they'll have dinner when he returns from this dreaded visit. End of chapter 25. 26 has Maxim entering Caroline's house. Technically Maxim's house now. He takes a deep breath and enters the morning room. Before that though, cut to Alessia unpacking her stuff and getting reacquainted with the space as a resident instead of an employee. Some of the hanging photographs and sound systems are gone, but the piano is intact. So she sits and plays. Okay, back to Maxim. Caroline sits in front of the fire. Her forlorn widow look is so on point. Maxim feels unwelcome as Caroline doesn't rise to greet him. Like, come on, eat shit. Caroline believes Kit intended to have his accident, and Maxim doesn't want to admit that he has briefly thought the same. With a hint of bitterness, she asks if he wants a drink in his own home. He declines, not looking for a fight. They sit and stare into the fire together for a while. She asks what Maxim was doing in Cornwall, and he says, escaping gangsters and falling in love. Corny. My God. Cut to Alessia rummaging for ingredients in the kitchen, not feeling inspired by what's there, and opts for a Tesco run. Back with Maxim. At this point, we all know why we're cutting back and forth here, right? Caroline laughs in Maxim's face. Absolutely love that for her. But the news sinks in, and she doesn't take it well. Maxim's like, whoa, this isn't like you. And she throws Kit's death at him, and he is surprised Pikachu face about it. They go back and forth. Caroline's all, you can't get with your cleaner, you're crazy. And he's all, crazy in love, still corny. And I'm waiting for the intent of this confrontation, because at first, I'm thinking Caroline's peeved that she no longer has a companion to feel miserable with, so she wouldn't feel alone. But no, I gave this far too much credit. Unfortunately, she's just soured that her second option is off the table. The moment that becomes clear, sympathy for Caroline flushes out of Maxim's system. She is a mere annoyance now. He exclaims how they had their shot before she chose Kit, and that's that. She throws a wine glass at him. Unfortunately, it only hits his leg and not his head, as she kicks him out of technically his house. Back with Alessia, she feels a tingle up her spine as she walks to Tesco. Oh my God, we really are doing the same shtick again, huh? She grabs a basket, goes to the produce section, and then a calm, familiar voice greets her in Albanian. So anyway, back to Maxim. He's feeling pretty heated after that ordeal with Caroline, and he takes a stroll to blow off steam. His anger is as dark as the night. Just the audacity of that woman, huh? Oh my God. But who cares about that? Back with Alessia. She turns around and Anatoly's right up on her. What a coincidence. He has schlepped his ass all the way to England to retrieve her. And what is with these guys who don't know how to cut their losses? Oh my God. Anatoly grabs Alessia's elbow and says how devastated her parents are, that she has never sent word back to them. Good thing he spent a small fortune locating her. She should be ashamed of herself, but they'll deal with that later. Now they're going home. End of chapter 26. 27 has Maxim still stomping down a street. He still can't believe what a snob Caroline turned out to be, just like his mother. Ugh, what would she say on the matter? To marry with money, darling. Even though his anger is as dark as the night, it somehow manages to get even darker. Ah! With Alessia, she cries that she won't leave with Anatoly. She breaks out of his grip and demands he not touch her. Yes! Angry Alessia is back. But he's like, why are you behaving like this? I came a long way for you, and I'm not leaving alone. You are promised me by your father. Why are you dishonoring him? This is because of that man, isn't it? Your mother's friend sent an email mentioning a man. If it is, I'll kill him. This shakes Alessia, and Anatoly leads her out of Tesco. See, this is the silly sort of dark assholery that I am personally here for. Oh my God, am I gonna finally eat good at the 84% mark? Meanwhile, Maxim's at a pub. I don't know how James thinks jumping around maintains tension and momentum. Like, it really just resets it for me. Maxim ruminates how his life has changed for the better since meeting Alessia, how he's never met anyone like her, who possessed nothing but her talents, resourcefulness, and pretty face. Compared to her, he took life for granted, and now he has responsibilities. But he found Alessia, and he loves her more than anything. She makes him want to be better. Dude has been dwelling on this for 400 pages. Bro, I get it. And then there's Caroline, who's still his best friend forever. His world is off kilter whenever they do butt heads. And oh crap, he forgot to ask her for help with Alessia's legal status. Even then, I think that ship has sailed, buddy. He can only hope she'll at least come around at some point eventually, maybe. But forget that guy. Anatoly still has Alessia by the elbow as they march back to Maxim's place to get her things. Alessia told him that she lives at his place as his exclusive cleaner. She also figures Magda emailed her mom despite Alessia begging her not to. Anatoly asks if he's not had what's mine, and Alessia lies. Hell yeah. Wouldn't be a silly gangster stereotype without the classic virginity obsession. Oh, God, I love it here. When she unlocks the front door, Anatoly seems impressed with Maxim's wealth. He asks where she sleeps, and she points to the guest room. She had stored her clothes in there coincidentally because there was no space in Maxim's closet. When she points out the master bedroom at Anatoly's behest, he storms in and comes out with his wastebasket. No, girl. Oh my god. And then he asks about the condoms inside? Oh my god, so that's where she got that freaky little quirk from. It's all coming together now, baby. She lies and says he has a girlfriend, that they're both out, and then he orders her to get her things as he's parked outside and wants to be gone before Maxim returns. He is serious. This is his rescue mission after all. So she angry cries as she angry packs, the sign of a competent multitasker, I'll tell you what. She's adamant about leaving Maxim a note so her employer won't worry. She doesn't know how well Anatoly can read or can speak English, so she'll have to be subtle and hope Maxim can read between the lines. He scans her words and is like, seems fine to me, let's go. Maxim approaches his building, perfect timing, and coincidentally, notices a man closing a side door of his Mercedes and then rolls around to the near side of his car. But this is highly suspicious in his eyes, because he just knows. But gosh darn it, Caroline catches his attention as she's calling his name, running to catch up behind him. He focuses on the strange man who just happened to catch his attention just cuz, for no reason whatsoever. Maxim tries to pick up on what he can obviously tell to be a foreign license plate. Caroline reaches Maxim, throws her arm around him and profusely apologizes, but he ignores her, focusing on the foreign car. When it pulls away, he catches it, a flag of Albania on the number plate. No way did this goofy ass goober man drive his ass all the way to London with his own car. Oh my god, like crime 101, girl, get with it. Alessia hears Maxim's name being called out. She turns in her seat and spots him with a blonde in his arms. His hands cradle her head, holds her waist, and Alessia then recognizes her from that one time. That's Caroline, the widowed sister-in-law. So that's where he's been. Yeah, girl, he told you so before he left. Did you have wax in your ears? Pay attention, chop chop. Now they're hugging, and the betrayal is swift and cruel. It slices Alessia into tiny pieces and shatters her faith in herself and in him, her mister. Allah, the drama! Tears ooze down her face as Anatoly tears away from the only happiness she has ever known. Maxim yells his curses as he chases after the car, only for it to speed off into the night. Not again! He cries. Oh, at least his melodrama has the decency to be hilarious. He races up the stairwell to the flat, ditching Caroline at the lobby. He searches the place in a panic before he notices the note. Mr. Maxim, my betrothed is here, and he has taken me to my home in Albania. Thank you for everything, Alessia. No! Maxim finds some phone and hurls it across the room. It shatters as he sinks to his knees. For the second time in less than a week, he wants to cry. End of chapter 27. So stupid, I love it. We're at the 85% point and we're squeezing in one last story arc just so we can wrap up all the established plot points. Alessia is so emotionally immature and fickle. It makes her 180 so goddamn funny once I've reached the point of emotional exhaustion. Don't let my cackles fool you. I am dead inside right now. But I'm also not going to complain about this little arc that much. It is by far the most entertaining one. So, like, I guess Maxim's gonna yoink a private jet straight out of his butt, right? And then he's gonna meet them in Albania, yeah? Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't that happen? I deserve this wild turn, man. I deserve it. 4 down, 2 to go. We are almost done. And we are saving the best for last, apparently. Saving the best for last, that's the silver lining. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.